5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Nice to see you again. I am the one, and this is the Dukes of Football, and apparently I am unstable, and I am shaking. No, not me. The table is unstable and is shaky, not me. Okay, I think I got it out. All right, here we go. Welcome, everybody. I am the one, and this is the Dukes of Football, original BW Sports One podcast. Well, how about it? You know what I mean? This is Wednesday Night Live, brought to you by the Dukes. You know what I mean? This is the fun time of the week. You know what I mean? All of our shows are the fun times of the week, but this is the football fun time of the week. And as always, I am here to bring you the funness of football. And we are brought to you by Elite Performance. If you're trying to get that body into the elite shape for the year 2022, when we eventually beat the death, make sure you contact our good friend Zach Dirr over at Elite Performance. Contact him and he'll get you in the shape that you are looking to get in. Elite Performance done the elite way. Give them a call, 765-499-1005. All right. And then also, if you are trying to get some new artwork, you got a passion for something that you want to keep, you want a namesake or something of that nature, you're looking to put on your body, or just something really cool. Once you take out, once you check out our good friends Todd and Kati, Durham over at Revved Up Tattoos, 317-537-2667. His appointment book is always filled, so you better get in there and get your next available spot for some nice artwork on the body. And the Fighter's Friend. Look for your D8, D9, CBD products, supplements that help get you away from the opioids, trying to heal your body in different manners. There's not as addictive as the opioids that are legal, but is harmful to us in so many different ways. So next time you give them a call, make sure that you use the promo code BWSPORTS1 and you'll get some cool discounts. Printed Memories, wonderful apparel, direct print on order basis. So make sure you contact them if you want some nice printed material for your podcast, our podcast, or anything like that. Once you contact them, I think Dan is sporting a nice quarter zip with those things on it too. So check those people out. Looks like we got something, and that is it. So I have dilly-dallied long enough, so let's get into some things. I'm not going to try to hold you long today, and plus it's not going to be a really big show today because as you know, this is the first week without any college football games, so we are done with NCAA convo for the most part, with a deal about games and breakdowns and things like that until next season. But obviously, we'll do college themes shows throughout the off season as we get into the warmer months. Obviously, we'll cover spring trainings, well, not spring training, spring practices, spring games, things like that. Obviously DeLion is going to be on his Notre Dame things with their new coach. I'm going to obviously be on my Michigan thing. Still, I'm not wondering, but most people are still wondering if this Harbaugh is staying or going to the NFL. I wasn't too much worried about the NFL talk. I figured if he was interested, he would say so. He's that type of person. So I'm confident we'll have him back next year. So I'm looking to see how we build, stay the same, or get better for the upcoming season. So we'll keep an eye on those spring games. And then we'll just talk that. I mean, the next time we really talk about some college things, it'll be like a mix of that in the NFL when we go through the draft. There's a lot of good players for this draft class that is to be talked about. It could be game changers for NFL teams. A lot of good defensive players in this draft, especially on the line and then the middle, the linebacker. So not a big heavy quarterback draft. So we'll see how it goes. A couple receivers that are really good. So we'll see how that happens. So I guess that gets us into what we're here to talk about, divisional round. Let's see, what are we at? We're not doing that because we don't have that. I just told y'all that. So we'll go here to bam. Inside the NFL Cooler, brought to you by Circle Center Cryogenics, where we freeze just about anything but people. Really cool process there. Make sure you check it out. They take a lot of your mechanical equipment, a lot of farm, auto equipment, and they cryo freeze it, and it makes it perform better and last longer. So if you're into that, those type of things, and you want your materials or your appliance or your tools to last a little longer, work a little better, why don't you check them out? Brian to get you all checked out over at Cryogenics. All right, so that puts us where we, I don't know why I clicked it off. So first up on our talk list, and I guess we'll start it off. How about them boys? So we're recapping. I'm going to recap a little bit of last weekend's wild card games. So let me move myself to where I'm supposed to be. So we recap a little bit from last week's wild card games. And obviously, I am not a real big fan of the Cowboys. Dan is not a real big fan of the Cowboys. But Sean, Tommy Boy, Tom Racker, Checkers the Clown, he is. So I don't want to sit here and just, beast on his team like that. But I do. You know what I mean? And it's not towards him, and the comments that I make are, kind of generated towards, Cowboy fans, because you're the most irritating fans that I've ever seen in my entire life, and you're not even my rival, even though we've beaten you 3 times or twice in the Super Bowl, just to remind you that. But that's beside the point. It's not about the Steelers. We'll talk about me later. But no, I didn't freeze. Just checking if he was paying attention. No, so but the Cowboy fans are annoying. Even to me, OSU fans aren't even that annoying. You know what I'm saying? But Cowboy fans are annoying. It's like you profess that you're America's team. I don't really know how. And I mean, like, you're this great team. You haven't won a playoff game since last century. You know what I mean? And you knew. And hey, something I did see. Romo made me laugh tremendously because he was talking like he was not a part of any of those despicable flounder of playoff teams that they've had over the past decade, which brings up another point of something that I put in a message between myself, Dan, and Sean. Dan Eagles, Sean Cowboys. Now, I saw this thing and I should have put it on here, but I forgot because I was doing some other things. I was a little tired because I was typing a lot of recipes. I think I did 3 recipes for the One's Kitchen today. But so they had this chart that came up of all the standings of, I think I'm going to share it to the page after the show. But they put up of standings of all the divisions and the teams for the last decade. So you had New England with 125 wins. You had the Saints, I think, with 100 wins. Pittsburgh was with 100 wins or so, a little over 100 wins. I think there was one other team with 100 wins. But the reason why I shared it with them was because this rivalry between these two is like immense and it's awesome. I think the only team that they agree on is Notre Dame. Maybe the Colts. No. the Indians, they're real the Indians. But in the NFC East, you have the Eagles, who is one game up on the Cowboys and the of the standings of the state of the last decade. So I put that up there to see how those two would go at each other. It was pretty funny. You know what I mean? Sean went right for the jugular. You know what I mean? It's like all that chatter you doing about playoff wins, you know what I mean? And you still suck, you know, and he's throwing the suck because you guys can't win the playoff win. I don't know. It was funny. I enjoyed it immensely. So it would have been great to have either one of them on here to defend their teams against each other. But the end result is the Steelers have more wins than both of them. So, again, that's another greatness of the Steelers not having any losing seasons under Mike Tomlin or Ben Roethlisberger and, you know, and all that stuff. But I'm not here to toot my own horn. But it's an interesting look, but regardless, it's an interesting little chart to like to see where your team fared with the last decade when it comes to standings of the NFL as a whole and within their division. So you can see the teams that have been winning or dominating their divisions. I think Seattle was a team that was over 100. I think if I remember that correctly. You know what? Why even talk about it? I can just go find it right now. Maybe. No. I tried. But anyway, like I said, I have it, but I'll post it on the page after so you can see where your team was standing wise of the last decade with the wins in their division in the NFL. Let's see, but recapping, I thought the Cowboy game and the Cardinal game might have been the best game of the weekend. I think those other games were all blowouts. You know, the Steelers, Chiefs. I was hoping that it wouldn't be a blowout. I was hoping that the game would be grimy and in the fourth quarter have a chance with Ben and Tomlin to pull out some magic once again on his way out, but it didn't happen that way. It started like it would, you know what I mean, wide affecting games, scoring touchdowns, and then from there it was a wrap. I think Kansas City scored 28 straight points. So, but it's not the way I wanted to see Ben go out. But I didn't have unrealistic expectations coming into the season. I was extremely happy at how we finished out to really do it. So it was great to see that all three of our teams made the playoffs. Two of us didn't really think that we were going to. So it was a pretty good season. So anxious to see how both of our teams, all of our teams, fare next year. Anxious to see if Mike McCarthy somehow keeps his job. You know, Jerry Jones is known to do some abstract things. You know, we've seen him keep people longer than he should have, Jason Garrett. And then we've seen him get rid of people that he should have kept just a little bit longer. So we'll see how it goes. You know, I know Jerry likes a coach that he can manipulate. And I think McCarthy is exactly that. But Jerry also likes winning. And time management, clock management, press coverage, and things of that, you have to be in control of your football team. And I don't think he does. And I think he's going to have to make some real serious some thoughts because you're going to end up losing two of your coordinators, your offensive coordinator and your defense coordinator. Options up. Are you going to move one of them up to keep them, or what are you going to do? So it's anxious to see what Jerry finds out what goes on in Jerry's world. So another game, but back to that game. Another game. The Cardinals, Rams. I know Dan has some really harsh words for the Cardinals, and I agree with him 100%. I jumped off the bandwagon a couple years ago. Like that first year, I was like, yes, this Cardinal team. No, I'm mistaken. Dan had been on the whole time. I didn't jump on till this previous year. Towards the middle, then they flaked at the playoffs, and then I had high expectations for them for this year. But what's going on in Cardinals as Kingsbury reached his peak? Can he coach any better? You know, I mean, you had a huge offseason free agent draw in. You brought people all over. You got your running back from Pittsburgh, Connor, who ended up being hurt at the end of the year. The same reason why we was cool to let him go, because he couldn't stay healthy. You bring in J.J. Watt, great guy in the locker room, great guy on the field when he's healthy. But that's the question. It's been plaguing him from the end of the year, his health-wise. And then when you needed him most, towards the end of the year, when you guys tend to fade, and offenses started torching your defense, here you go. You're back in that same situation where you flake. And then Hopkins gets hurt, another guy with injury issues. So here you go. That's what you go. Kyler Murray can't do it all by himself. Kingsbury has not been able to develop other people around him. You didn't have the expertise of Fitzgerald. So to answer a question that I had for the social media, not yet. Get to that in a second. But that'll be a question that we have that we're actually answering right now. So I guess I'll go ahead and give it to you. Wow. Follow your notes, buddy. It's all right. The Elite Performance Social Media Football Question of the Week, brought to you by Elite Performance. Performance done the elite way. So the question was, no, that was the one that I wanted, but it's a different one. Which team, Cowboys or Cardinals, failed more to live up their expectations? I am going to go with the Cardinals. I wanted to go with the Cowboys, but I agree with Dan. The Cowboys are going to do what the Cowboys do. They're going to find a way to shoot themselves in the foot every single time. With this game just passed, you can't blame the referees. The referees didn't do anything wrong in that situation. Everybody knows the rules. You know what I'm saying? He has to touch that ball in that situation. Every other quarterback in that situation who's there, they grab that football. The wide receivers grab that football and they run it right to that guy. Even in college, they run that ball right to that guy. He places it, then you can go. So there is nobody else to blame but Mike McCarthy and poor management at the end of the game, which questions why you're going to keep him. To me, you know what I mean? Why are you running the ball? The twofold. One, why are you calling that call? Second, Dak, why are you running extra? You should have an internal clock in your head to know exactly when you need to get down. That way you have time to get these linemen up here to spike the ball to give you an opportunity to throw something into the end zone. So with poor play calling, poor execution, poor time at end of the clock, game management, you got the Cowboys out of the playoffs. You know what I mean? High expectations. But we expect that. You know what I'm saying? This is a situation that played the Cowboys all year. Mike McCarthy, bad time management, bad decisions at the end of games. Cost you in this one. And you're out the playoffs. So you see how that goes. But the question is, which one didn't live up to the expectations more? I kind of wanted to say the Cowboys, but I kind of also think the Cardinals did live up. A lot of hype in free agency, all the excitement. Once again, the last 3 years, you've had all of these great starts, but you fizzle out at the end of the year. So, I have to say it's a tie. Both of them floundered like ridiculously. I mean, you can also put the Colts in there, but Carson Wentz is the reason why we didn't put the Colts in there, because no one really expected them to super succeed with him at the quarterback. So we're anxious to see how the Colts are going to make that switch with quarterback position. Ba, 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 ba. Let's see who else is on our list of things. Kingsbury, does he slide into that hot seat over the offseason? The Raiders. This was a funny one, y'all. This was a funny one. If y'all know me and how I feel about this word adversity into sports, y'all gonna love this one. The Raiders this season is the only team in all of sports to actually to endure adversity in a sports situation. I always say an adverse situation is a life-altering change. What they went through this season and still able to make the playoffs and still compete and still have a chance to win. Hey man, the Raiders get all my respect, all those players, to keep their focus, to keep their resolve and continue to fight and continue to perform on the field through injuries, through John Gooden, through receivers, drinking and driving and killing people and the things of that nature. So hats off to the Raiders, man. Sucks that you guys, I was actually kind of cheering for you on the side, but I did pick the Bengals because I thought the Bengals were a better football team. But man, hats off to the Raiders, man. They went through a lot of shit, and Derek Carr. I hope they keep that dude and protect him and give him an opportunity to win. I think he's going to be a special player, even though he's been around forever. But at least he had a better opportunity than his brother. Oh my God, did they eat that man alive? All right, so as I speak of off-season arrests, sour news going into our break to do our games and get on off of here. Browns defensive tackle Malik McDowell arrested, allegedly assaulted officers. But the strange thing is, bro, what were you doing running naked? At the Trick's house, huh? And got caught. Something, I don't know, bro. I'm not really sure why you're running naked through the streets and then you're going at the police naked. So I guess if you're gonna go big, go go all the way. And then you got the Jaguars linebacker Larenetti McCray. I'm pretty sure I just say that man's name right. But this dude is in a high-speed pursuit. Oh, I'm loving these entitled athletes of today's age. Oh, well, but we made them that way. We gave them that ability to do such things. But on a better note, here is our good friends over at Elite Performance. Nope, got you again. Wasn't frozen. Hey, back again. All right, so let's get into our next part of today's show. And this will take us on right on out of here, man. Let's talk about these games we got coming up this weekend. And get right through this so I can get you on out of here. I have breakfast for dinner to make. Then we're going to do some breakfast sandwiches, some biscuits, sausage, and egg. I might even make a chipotle aioli to go with it. It should be great. Who knows? But anyway, I might share, I might not. But anyway, let's get into it because there's 13 NBA games on tonight. Oh my God. Sportsgasm right now. Wife's not gonna like me because I think I'm gonna have to manipulate the TV because I think I'm gonna need to watch some of these games. Even though I have found like 4 new cooking shows that I am absolutely in love with. And there we go. So that was my weird moment for the show. So let's get into the next segment, which is Doc Sports NFL picks of the week, brought to you by Doc Sports. Text BW Sports 1229022 for your free $60 in picks. You like how I slowed that down, speed it up, slow it down, speed it up. Means you're in control. All right, so it's divisional round picks of divisional round games. So these are the games we're gonna pick. There's only 4 games, so obviously we're gonna do all 4 games now. So first off, and they're all going to be great games. So Saturday, make sure you get your popcorn, get ready. Both the games are in the afternoon and evening. And Sunday's games are going to be a little earlier. So plenty of time to do things before and after, but plan to be here watching football. And if I do think so correctly, these games on Saturday will be over just in time to send you right into UFC 270. Man, that's going to be a good one. The big boys are out for that one. I would love to hear what the Lion has to think on those UFC cards for this weekend. So, Divisional Round, a lot of good games. 2 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday. Pretty much these teams are what you expected to be there. You know, I guess you could say the Cardinals and the Cowboys both could have been expected. But pretty much, if you really look down at both of these, all 4 of these teams were pretty much kind of expected to be there. So our Saturday games, we start off with the 4 seed, the Bengals at 10-7, at the 1 seed Titans, which is absolutely phenomenal to me that they, without the services of Derrick Henry for the majority of the season, was able to hold on to that number 1 seed and get that much needed bye to get one more week of readiness for King Henry. If I read the reports right, he practiced yesterday and today, so it looks like he's going to be a full go. Man, that's going to be a really exciting game. Now, I am liking this Bengals. It's really hard for me to say that, and I understand y'all thinking that too, with me being a Cincy guy. I mean, a Cincy guy, a Pittsburgh guy, and then being in my division. But I like this young kid. I mean, Joe Burrow is a fabulous young quarterback. He's got a lot of swag to him, you know, hanging out down there in Louisiana with them bros. LSU, you know what I mean? You can see he picked up on that swag and he got a little bit of that Midwestern grit to him being from Ohio. So I like this kid. You know, did you see him in the press conference after the game with the old stunner shades on? Hey, man, I'm telling you, the dude is a Joe Namath in the making. But I like him. I like the connection that he has with Jamar Chase. Mixon is running the ball very well. The defense is doing okay, but this is going to be a different type of animal that they're going to have to come against, which is the Titans. Now, they do have an advantage, the Bengals, being with Jamar Chase, and I forgot the other guy on the other side, and the slot was the tight end. They do have because the corners, the secondary is kind of weak with Tennessee. But if Derrick Henry is efficient as he is, the time management of no mistakes Tannehill and the running game, which was there still without Henry, so you bring him back in, they can monopolize a lot of the time and keep that explosive offense of Cincinnati on the sideline. I know it's cliche, and it's going to be said again with a couple of these games, but the formula works if you're able to execute it. I think Tennessee on offense is going to be good, and it's going to be the first time in a while that they've had all 3 of their studs playing at the same time with Julio Jones, AJ Green, who is going to play against the old team in the playoffs. So that's going to be a storyline that they haven't really talked about at the moment. And Derrick Henry, I think what they've all played together, if I heard correctly, they're averaging about 7 yards per play when all the 3 of them on the floor on the field together. So, and it makes it very easy to manage and not throw the game away with Tannehill. So, and this is a shot for Tannehill to prove that he he is one of those, a compound on what he did in the playoffs last year. So, to call this game, let's see, this is a 4:30 game, CBS. I'm going to take the Titans on this one. I'm going to take the Titans on it for one because it's a home field. Tennessee is a very difficult place to play. As a coach here, no, it's not an easy place to go in there and play. And then it's going to be a whole different atmosphere. I know that was the first playoff game last week for Cincinnati, but this is something different. This is a different one. They were at home. They got their comfortability. Now you have to go on the road and you have to go against a juggernaut of a rushing attack. So I like Tennessee in this one. I like Tennessee in this one to do what? What do I got here? I got 30-27 Tennessee. 30-27 Tennessee. So our second game of the Saturday slate is the NFC 8:15 Fox game. So, like I said, this game is going to go off just in time for that main card to switch over for the UFC. So you're not going to be able to miss your fights. So stay with us. Stay with the football people. So it's all good. Like I'm rocking the KD boy today. Tornadoes all the way. Where was I? Second game. NFC 60 49ers, 10-7 at 1 seed Packers 13-4. Like I said, this is the 8:15 Fox game. So unfortunately, we're going to get Troy Aikman for this one. This one's going to be a good one. It's really hard to say with this one. When I picked it, I picked with my gut. It hasn't let me down too many times yet, so I don't expect it on this one. But this is going to be a good one. Aaron Rodgers got a extra week to rest up that injured toe. And a couple other guys on their team that had a little nicks in there had an extra week to get good and going. Actually, it was like 2 weeks for them because they didn't play that final game. So I like Green Bay to be fresh. A lot of veterans on that team, so I don't see them coming out flat in this particular game. So maybe first series you might have first down or two and then a punt, but I don't see them being like off offensively. This particular game, Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs, you know how he gets. But I'm more intrigued with this 49er team. They're a very physical team. Green Bay, I don't want to say they're not physical, but they seem to get pushed around a little bit. Not a very strong run defensive team. So I'm anxious to see how the 49ers attack. Jimmy G has put several good games in a row, even though he almost made a fatal error last week against the Cowboys that almost allowed them to come back with that overthrow and the interception. But I liked it. I like the 49ers. I like the attack that they're coming at, the fearlessness, the excitement, to see that they come out on the football field with the aggression. I guess if you watch Stephen A, if you watch Stephen on Super Kicking It, he'll tell you about John Zeta and his staple of ruthless aggression. And it's kind of like what San Francisco has to me. They come at you on offense and defense very ruthlessly, but with aggression. So with all of that, and I say that, they miss one factor, and that factor is Aaron Rodgers. He's probably going to be the league's MVP this year. I like how Tom Brady has played. It's hard to go against him, but at some point in time, it's like the LeBron factor. You can give it to him every year. So I wish Jonathan Taylor would have made the playoffs because he would have been getting my vote. But you know how it is. So with the factor of A-Rod and his connection and his doing it time and time again, I'm gonna have to go with the Packers at 27-21. I think it's going to be close. Aaron might have to come down to do it at the end. Who knows? But I like the Packers in this one. So we move over to Sunday's games. Sunday. So we move over to Sunday's games. First game up for Sunday is the 3 p.m. game, and it's on NBC. So you got the 4-seed Rams, 12-5. Old Matty Stafford leaving the Lions behind and entering into the playoffs, going against fatherless time at the 2-seed Buccaneers and Tom Brady at 13-4. The Buccaneers are all beat up, man, but they got Tom Brady. Tom Brady always seems to find a way to pull it out at the end. But I don't know if he's going to be able to overcome the obstacles that he has right now with, receivers are far few thin. They lose a key offensive lineman last game. It's hurting, man. I don't know if the defense is ready to hold it together to give him opportunities. The Rams team, Stafford is trying to prove himself. Odell Beckham is trying to prove himself. I've never been a real big fan of number 3, Mr. Beckham. I thought he was a loudmouth, brash receiver. But then if you look at it, a lot of the good receivers are, except Marvin Harrison and Jerry Rice and Larry Fitzgerald. And sorry, I went off on a tangent. But I think he's playing good football since he got out of the situation in Cleveland. All the talk about Odell Beckham in Cleveland and Baker Mayfield and blah, 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 blah. As you can see, performance is key. He's performing. His performance helped them get into the playoffs and be in the situation that they're in and winning football games in the playoffs. Baker's performance got them at the crib, so now he can go shoot some more awesome commercials. Yeah, I said it. So, but come down to it, even on my little sheet right here, my notes, I don't even have a person that I picked for this game because I wasn't going to know until this very moment. So I'm going to go with the Rams in the upset. I'm going to go with the Rams to go into Tampa to beat the Bucks, the Patriots. No, to beat the Bucks and fatherless time. I'm going to take the Rams, and we're going to go 31-20. 31-20. Write it down, mark it down. You heard it here. Matt Stafford is taking the Rams to the NFC Championship game. And I'm right here. I'm typing it into my notes. So I will not say that. There we go. 31-20. I have it in there. You see it. You heard it. You can go back on the recording and see where I said it. All right. Second game. Last game of the weekend. You have the 3-seed Bills, 11-6, going to the 2-seed Chiefs. This one is going to be exciting. I think it's going to come down to quarterback play, and I think it's going to come down to special teams. Patrick Mahomes is going to sling that thing all over the place. He's going to run all over the place, but I think the Bills' defense is okay enough to try to rein him in. I think the key to beat Mahomes and the Chiefs is to keep them off the field. Now, we look at the Bills and you say, well, they don't like to run the ball. But if you get down and you look at it, they are one of the most efficient running teams in the league. The difference is they do. Oh, I just heard the car alarm. The fam's home. The difference is they use a quarterback a lot more. And it's not always just set run plays. It's the bootlegs out and he finds the spaces and he makes the right reads. He's a big, strong, tough guy, and he can handle those type of things. But this Chiefs defense is very opportunistic, and they have been playing way better as of late, and they get mad pressure on the outside constricting in. Now, Josh Allen's strong points is getting outside and moving that way. You know what I'm saying? Giving him an opportunity to still be able to throw the ball. But with them rushing the outside and pushing him in, where he's very weak and rushing up through the pocket, that's where they'll be able to contain him and try to keep him from running. So I can think they can have a chance there. But I think it's going to come down to special teams. Both of these teams are very good on the special side of the ball. So whoever wins the field position on special teams, I think he's going to have the opportunity to win this game. So by saying that, I'm going Chiefs 35-24 because I just think that there's too much on the offensive end for the Bills to handle when it comes to containing Patrick Mahomes. The Bills are great at the house when they have whatever their fans are called, that jump off trailers on the tables or whatever. I think they have a very advantage there, but I just don't think it's a real good matchup for the Bills, even though this game might be closer than would expect, because I think the Bills tend to do sneaky things at times, like they show up at times and then they let a team run the ball, throw the ball 3 times. I don't know, but I like the Chiefs of this. They've been on a hot streak. They've been dominating. I don't see it stopping just as of yet. So I'm going Chiefs 35-24. So there you have it. That's all I got. Those are the Doc Sports NFL picks, divisional round picks of the week. So make sure that when you get onto that Doc Sports site, text B. Oh no, when you get up off the show, get on your phone, text to the number 29022 BW Sports 1, and get some cool prizes. All right, there you go. That's all I got. And so that means I'm going to leave you now and go watch some NBA basketball. For the one, Dukes of Football, BW Sports 1. I am out this yard.